Austria, land of many mountains and picturesque sceneries. A country home to some fine beer and some delicious but definitely not too healthy food. We stayed in Salzburg and explored the region around it to experience the many wonders the country has to offer, and also jumped over to Germany for a day. Join us for this adventure if you want to be inspired by this wonderful part of Europe. On day 1, we explored the city of Salzburg. From our hotel at the main train station, getting to the center of the city was an easy walk. We checked out the Mirabell garden that offered a beautiful scenery with the castle of Salzburg in the background. Then we hiked up to the Kapuziner mountain to get some fresh air and get some more view of the castle. After descending back to the city, we started to experience the wonderful old town. Here you are surrounded by some magnificent architecture and you can get some nice food as well. But as this is the place that has the most high-end shops, it's also a bit packed with tourists. Then we finally climbed up all the way to the castle to check out its many museums and also to get a good look at our surroundings. By the way, if you are in the area, make sure to try the local specialty known as Bosna, which is a unique style of hot dog. We sure had a lot of it during our stay. On day 2, we hopped on a bus all the way to the Wolfgang Lake. It was an easy 50-minute ride to St. Gilgen, from where we took the mountain lift to take us up to the Zwölfelhorn mountain. At the peak, we were greeted by some breathtaking view. This place has many different hiking routes, all of them offering beautiful scenery, and we even met some friendly cows on our way. After walking around, enjoying the view of the lake and the mountains surrounding it, we descended back to the shore and took a boat to the town of St. Wolfgang. This chill trip gave us a different perspective of this beautiful area we just viewed from the top. In 40 minutes we arrived to the town, which we didn't know much about, but immediately fell in love with the place. The charming narrow streets and those typical balconies you see in this region of Europe, it felt so nice to wander around. And although St. Wolfgang may not have scenes that could become instantly recognizable on the internet, like Hallstatt for example, but maybe because we went there knowing less and explored it with a blank sheet, was the reason why it was such a memorable experience. Sometimes maybe it's better to go to places you don't see all over the web. On our third day, we took a 40-minute train ride down to Werfen, a town at the feet of a mountain that has an ice cave hidden in its belly. We hopped on a bus which took us to the ticket shop, from where we still needed to hike and take a mountain lift up to the cave's entrance. And what a hike that was! The mountain was still shrouded in clouds, making the whole journey feel very mystical. Once we were inside, we climbed 700 steps while checking out all the magical ice sculptures that were made over centuries by nature itself. These awe-inspiring sceneries kept us warm in the cold and dark cave. It was an experience I can truly recommend, so if you are in the region, make sure to visit the caves in Werfen. On day 4, we jumped over the border to neighboring Germany so that we can explore the König Lake. We took 2 buses and arrived to the town of Königsee in slightly more than an hour, then we hopped on a boat ride to get to the end of the lake where we can do some hiking. The lake is surrounded by mountains, offering one of the best views in nature that I have seen during my life. At the last stop of our boat ride, we continued on foot to reach the valley of the smaller Ober Lake. The scenery was simply breathtaking, with the mountains in the back and how the lake acted as a mirror for all of its surroundings. And believe me, this place is famous for a reason, which is probably why it was a bit crowded, but the view always managed to make us forget that we are definitely not alone. Even though it was about 2 hours of travel away, we simply couldn't resist to take the long journey to Hallstatt on our last day. The town that lies on a lake shore at the feet of a mountain, and famous for that one view that cannot be avoided on Instagram. But if you go there, it shouldn't be because you wanna take that photo. It should be about that magical feeling of getting lost in the many narrow streets of this little fairy tale town. It it's easy to spend a few hours wandering around Hallstatt and explore its many alleys and charming shops. Overall, it's not a huge town, but you can go on some hiking adventures from here, or check out what the view is like from the salt mine located on the mountain. The town is famous for its salt, so make sure you grab some at the local souvenir shops. It's so wonderful that from one city you can experience so much of what a region has to offer, and these 5 days have made Salzburg and its surroundings one of my all-time favorite places, one that I'm sure to visit another time in the future. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed this video and got inspired to visit the area, or just to go to experience your own adventures. Consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel to see more content like this. Bye!